Good morning, students. So we will, for a revision purpose, we will do the French map as far as the revision purpose. And the student who hadn't done the map from the chapter the French Revolution, we will do it today. Okay. Then we will continue some questions also, which are revision purpose. We will do. Okay. So first of all, take out your French map and on your notebook write down the question. First of all, write down the question regarding the French map. Yes. Write down question. So where is the chalk? Yes. Write down. Revision. Map. Activity. Lesson 1. History. And the chapter is the French Revolution. Chapter is the French Revolution. You have to mention this on your notebook, and then after filling the map, you have to paste it. Okay? The question is that identify the places on the given outline political map of France and write their name on the lines drawn near them. Okay. As I told you that in history, 2 marks map point will be given to you, as it has given the instruction by the CBSE in 10th and 9th. Map will be for 5 marks. 2 marks will be taken from the history syllabus, anything which chapters are related to the map point, and 3 marks will be covered from the geography section. So in history, that A, B, C or A, B point will be given, and the information regarding these 2 places will be given as your examination paper. And then you have to find out on the basis of the given information. Then you have to write down their names, the name of the places. Okay. The first is write down a port of France. A port of France. A port of France related to slave trade. It has been given to you. Okay? In a France map, they will mark A and they will mark a line also, and the information that a port in France which was related to slave trade. And the answer is, so here we are making notes. So here I am giving you the answer also, so that you will remember, you will learn. But in an examination, they will not give you the name of the port. You have to remember on the basis of this information. But here we are making notes, so I am giving you the name of port. And the name of port is Bordeaux. Write down B-O-R-D Now the next B point. The port of France. The port of France. The port of France enriched due to slave trade. Due to slave trade. Now they will give you maybe on the French map the B point and the information regarding it, that you have to identify which port it is which was enriched due to slave trade. Enriched means developed. But in France, during the French Revolution, what was the port which was developed just because of the slave trade? And your answer is Nantes. Nantes. It means if they will ask you to write the name of the place on the basis of this information, what you will write? Nantes. So here you have to learn these map points. And when we fill the map, you will also learn where they are located. Understood? But not the location only. You will learn this also, that why these places are famous. Understood? Are you getting my point? That how we supposed to fill the map points. Third, first we are writing the question. The place where the place where the Bastille, Bastille, Bastille was stormed. Correct answer is the capital of France. It is Paris. And the last, which is in your syllabus from this chapter, the last math point, the birthplace of France national anthem. National anthem. It's the birthplace of national anthem. In France, the area Marseille is known as you know, the France national anthem is known as Marseille. Okay, so this was the place Marseille which was known as the birthplace of France national anthem. Your answer is Marseille, Marseille. So you can see, you can open your NCERT history on the page 9. Now identify these areas and you can locate them with the help of pencil by your own. Page number 9 according to the old NCERT. Bordeaux, you can see where is it in a so fill Bordeaux. But when you will fill Bordeaux, what you will do? You will write down capital A. The labeling of this ABC is required. And after ABC, you will write down their name and underline them. Okay? Yes. Then Marseille is also there. Then identify where is Nantes. Yes, Nantes is also there. Yes, and the last one is Paris. And they have given the Paris also. Yes, in the middle. With the help of this map, you have to fill this. You can take this. Fill your map with the help of this. Yes. revolution. So, who will give me the answer, because it is a revision purpose, that, and remember, anything, anyhow, in any form can be asked to you which is in your syllabus. Okay, revised syllabus has been given to you. You have noted down the format of the question paper for social science in class 9. Everything I have given you as a basic. Now I am asking you, I am revising, and I am asking you the basic question which used to ask that what are the reasons for the French Revolution? Can anybody tell me the answer? I have given you to learn you for class test. Yes or no? I hope you have learned. 2 days you are having, Saturday and Sunday you are coming to school on alternative manner. You have to take it advantage that whatever homework is given to you, you have to learn. Raise your hand. How many of you know what were the basic reason behind the French Revolution in France? Why? There is a reason behind it or not? How many reasons? Basically 3 reasons. What were they? Political reason. Political reason. Then economical reason. Economic reason. And third, administrative reason. So when we say there are mainly 3 reasons for the French Revolution in France, and they are, first is political reason. Who will define me what was the political reason? What were the political reasons which were responsible for French Revolution? Yes? When we say political reason, so in fact, in what segment we are talking about? In what area we are talking about? How the politics or the political environment became the cause of French Revolution in France? What type of politics was there? Tell me. It means I have given you homework, you are having today, but you are not prepared. So how the revision will be fruitful? And what is the logic behind to come here to do revision if you will not follow the instruction of the teacher? Give me answer. Yes. What are the political reasons? Stand up. Speak louder. If there were a political reason, it means that when Louis XVI became the ruler of the France, that time the treasury was empty. He was not having so much of money to rule as a king in France. Yes or no? So political reason in such a way that there was a empty treasury during the, you can say, before the French Revolution in France. The king Louis XVI was the ruler of that time, and he was helpless to recover the money, and that's why what he has done, he has imposed, as a king, as an autocratic ruler, he has imposed the heavy taxes on which state people? Third state people, and this was done by him as a ruler. So politically there was not a democratic system where he can impose the taxes on each and every segment of the society as an equal manner, okay? But as an autocratic ruler, he has compelled only the poor peasant and the farmers and the laborers, okay, that they have to pay extra tax so that some sort of money can be collected and he can rule smoothly in France. So as a situation, as politically, he was exploiting whom? Third state people. Politically. Because when we say that that time in France monarchy system was there. Okay. But being a monarch, being a king, it was a responsibility of a king of a nation that he has to look after every section of the society. annoyed. They were thinking that their political freedom was totally ended, and they were not ready to come back, because many times the crop failures was there. So they were not able to feed their own family. They were not capable to feed their family 2 times. So how can they pay the heavy taxes? So that's why this was the reason that politically the third estate people were not free. They were not treated equally like the second and the first estate people by the Louis XVI. That's why the political disadvantaged environments become the reason of French Revolution among the third estate people. Understood? Okay. In this manner, you have to justify why the politics or the political reason became a significant reason for the French Revolution in France. Second, economic reason. When we say economic, it is again money. We know that how much important the money is. So now again, that economically, now again you have to give the economic background and the situation of the third estate people. And this is only the section who was the hero of French Revolution, who has taken part in the French Revolution. This section was so much exploited mentally, physically, economically, politically, administratively, that they came together and they want that there should be a democratic regime in the France. There should be a republic France. There should be a constitutional design. There should be a parliamentary election, so that they can live equally, they can be treated equal manner like the other state people. That's why the French Revolution, the credit for the French Revolution is directly goes to the which state people? Third state people. So here economically you have to give them their third state people economic disadvantageedness. That how during the Louis XVI rulership, how the third estate people, including the poor farmer, peasants and the laborers, were not happy economically, as already they were not having any political right where they can oppose these heavy burden of taxes. What is democracy? Democracy where we can challenge any decision of government. We are having constitutional rights. Challenge or asking the question is not that we are fighting. It is the very spirit of democracy that if any scheme or any yojana, as India is a democratic nation, you know, as a citizen we are having certain rights. Yes or no? Among them, the top finest right is right to vote. Yes or no? This is the basic soul that which established equality among the people of India who are so diverse. So we are having the power of vote up to the age of 18 and above them. So it gives us so much of power that even if we are not satisfied with the current government, we will not repeat it after 5 years. At the same time, within 5 years, if we are not satisfied with the functioning of the government, with the action of the government, time to time we can ask question in a systematic manner. Even we are free to do any demonstration, any rally in a peaceful manner to oppose the government policy. Yes or no? Are you getting my point or not? So it is the spirit that we all are equal. If government's policy is not in the favor of every section of the society, as a citizen of a democratic nation, we the people of India can raise our voice against the government action. Understood? Now we are talking about the economic reason. Yes, there was a great economic reasons for the third estate people, as they were suffering from hunger. You know that how important this chapter is. That when we study the French Revolution, when we study the Russian Revolution, when we study the nationalism in India, you know that 200 years we were slaves in India. So there is a limitation of as a human being in all of us that we can tolerate up to our own limit. Yes or no? But when it crossed, it was happened with third estate people in France during the rulership of Louis XVI. that economical reason became a significant point for the French Revolution as the people of the third estate were suffering from hunger, the crop failure. They were not earning any suitable means of wages where they can feed their family 2 times. So how can they pay the heavy taxes to the king? How can they pay the heavy burden of taxes to the landlords? And the king has compelled them that he hadn't bothered whether the crop failure or whatever condition in the market, but he wants to collect the revenue or the tax from the third estate people. Then again the question is that the poorest section of the society, okay, and only on them the heavy burden of taxes. While in a democratic nation, the tax, we also pay the income tax. Okay, but there is a certain rules and regulation that how much we are earning in a year. If our salary in a year is so, then particular amount we have to do as a tax. But if our income is not at that level, then there is no need to pay the income tax. So, and it is for every citizen of India. So, this is the spirit of democracy, but that time they were suffering from the monarchy system, and that's why when their family died because of hunger, you can imagine the pathetic condition of the farmers or the peasant in France before the French Revolution. It becomes that now they were ready to oppose the Louis XVI because their limitation has crossed now, and that's why they united, and that's why the French Revolution became the first step around the world in European history. The French Revolution became a significant event which inspired the other countries also for independent nation. After that, the Russian Revolution has had. They were also charged with the feeling of nationalism, and they also started to fight for their equal rights and opportunity. Are you getting my point? So that's why French Revolution is very important in the European history. And after that, the nationalism also started in India. So that's why now you can explain it as an economic reason. Now the last is administrative reason. What will come under the administrative reason? What are the administrative reason? We will say that third reason was for the French Revolution was administrative. You know, administration, it means management. Okay, and management, then again management was autocratic because the rulership was monarchy system. So whatever rules and regulations they decide to do, make and implement, they have done. And thus again the administration was in favor or against of the third estate people? Against. It was against. They were not thinking for their economic life. They were not giving them any political right. So administratively, the third estate people in France were so much dissatisfied. They were full of aggression. They were tired of the heavy burden of taxes and the poor condition, poor economic and political condition. That's why the third estate people decided to take a revenge where they want to establish a republic, France, and the constitutional parliament in the France. That's why they started to spread the feeling of nationalism or for the feeling of democratic nationalism among the other people of the society. And this section is involved the educated class also. You know that how after some time the educationists of France, teacher, professor, painters, poets, they also spread the feeling of democratic regime among the French people. Poets started to write down the poems which are full of democratic spirit, which were against the exploitation of the weaker section of the society. So, there is so much to write, but again we have to think that how much relevant content we have to give for the 3 or the 5 marks question, because in examination time limit is very important. Getting my point? So it should be learned by you that we can do certain topics revision which are so much authentic question from chapter to chapter. But as far as the study matter, you are blank. You have to go through with the syllabus, then you have to see all the NCERT, plus you have to read the chapter. Then in the NCERT there are important terms and definition also given in the boxes. So anything, be reading, anything, anyhow can be asked to you. You have to prepare with your NCERT, because NCERT is having so much, you can say so much, there in books there is so much that millions of questions can be framed only from your NCERT. And the syllabus, I hope you have revised syllabus of SSC. So go through with the syllabus and then learn the question answer, only then your revision will be fruitful. Okay, the same question I am giving you as your homework of today. It means if you are not supposed to come into school, first of all you have to come to school for revision. But for the online student, they have to submit online, and if you are coming to school, then also you have to do as a practice purpose. This question will be your today's homework. Understood?